Hello everyone, it is time for me to, Andy, aka Volts of Exloth, obviously, to introduce you to a new series. This is a spin-off of an old section of the podcast, so hopefully Mike will be doing a few episodes, maybe Paul, maybe all three of us or a combination, but yeah, this is called Flashback, and today I've been inspired because of I was going through some old stuff and I've been watching old cartoons with my son Connor, who you can now see on the sorry, the cat's being weird, who you can see on the Nerd Block unboxing for February, and also the Nerd Block Junior unboxing video that we've started doing together. So yeah, me and him have been watching old cartoons and stuff like that I watched when I was going to say his age, but I'll be more realistic, in college. So yeah, one of which is the show Yu-Gi-Oh! And I thought, well, it'd be awesome to be able to teach him how to play. And I thought, I remembered having a deck in college, which was pretty cool. I remember playing loads of things with that, and I thought it lost forever because last I remembered it was in my old starter deck Kyber box, which the last time I saw was in the cellar when I lived with my ex-wife, and I thought I'd left it there, which led me to believe that it was lost forever because she's moved house since, and I can imagine that she wouldn't have been that bothered about it, because otherwise she would have said, it's here, do you want this? So I thought maybe it's lost. It turned out that the reason she hadn't mentioned anything was because it was at my house in a spares box the entire time. So I have actually recovered my deck pretty much. So I was ecstatic about this. I've been geeking out all day because of this, and which is one of the things that inspired me to start this show as a thing on the YouTube channel. And yeah, and incidentally, I found these because I bought a new Kyber starter deck to try and rebuild this from memory, because I really wanted to play again, and I know my brother's still got his cards somewhere, so I thought, well, I'll rebuild my deck and then we can start again, and me and my brother can have duels and stuff, and I thought that would be pretty fun, but yeah, I couldn't find it. I know his are up in Mum's loft or something, so I thought, I know, I'll just go onto eBay, buy a Kyber starter deck and start from scratch, because I know I started with the original Kyber starter deck, because that's how me and my brother first started playing. He had the Yugi deck, I had the Kyber deck. When the new ones came out, I think he bought both Joey and Pegasus starter decks. I was busy expanding my stuff with different cards at that point, and then when the Yugi and Kyber Evolution decks came out, obviously he got the Yugi deck, I got the Kyber deck, and then we started taking cards out, modifying, swapping cards around. I started getting hold of cards online, specific cards to boost what I could do with my deck, and yeah, so I was going to start rebuilding from scratch to remember what I was doing, but now that means I've got my old deck and a new Kyber deck, so what I'm doing with the new one is I'm going to give it to Connor and teach him to play. But that's not the point of this. The point of this is to talk about old stories with these, and I have plenty of stories with these. Let's start with, let's see, well, first of all, pulled a proper Kyber move, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, because in a Kyber deck that is obviously what you need. So yeah, I've got the Lord of Dragons, Flute Summoning Drugs. Now this is a card called Final Countdown, if you can see that. I remember playing this like all the time when I was in college. I cannot. I can't remember how I got this. I think I actually found it by buying some of the booster packs. I cannot for the life of me remember what booster pack it was. It's DCR 091. So it's a first edition card as well. So, but yeah, it's basically whenever I got this, paid 2,000 life points. After 20 turns, the game is over and I win. So basically, it was a game of play this and then see if we could drag the duel out as long as possible. It was, again, a bit of an esoteric strategy. It never really worked, but I mainly put it in my deck because A, I thought it'd be fun just in case me and the opponent go into a stalemate, and B, it means whenever I put it down I could go, "It's the final countdown," which happened all the time whenever I played it. Let's see, Guardian Bow. This one is a cool card. I've got this and Wicked Breaking Flamberge, the thing that goes with it. I remember trying to use this. I haven't, as far as I remember, I've only successfully used this twice to win a duel. Basically, when the Guardian's on the field, it can whenever it destroys an opponent's monster, it increases its attack points by 1,000. So basically, I put it on the field, equip it with a load of shit, so then it would be massively overpowered. So it'd have some power behind it, and start attacking people's monsters, and then it would just build up exponentially. It worked a couple of times, but yeah, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, this is the card I was looking for. Some of you might know this. Enchanted Javelin. Now, this one I have a story about. Me and my old college friend James. There was a few of us that used to duel. There was like all of my old college friends. I know Luke and Jason, Taz. They all had their own theme decks and stuff. I think Kirsten did. My mate James did. He had a machine deck. Oh, speaking of James, he is. If you've seen the Nerd Block unboxing for November, I think, the one where I got the Dungeons and Dragons figure and talked about playing D&D in college. He was the DM. So yeah. So there's precedent for me. But yeah, back to the Yu-Gi-Oh game. I remember playing this. It was fucking hilarious. Because we always used to try and one-up each other. I mean, when we were playing in college, we actually made house rules to be able to do 2 versus 2 games, and also like multiple opponent games. So like 3 of us would be playing, and you could attack. So like all. Like against each other. I actually started working on rules for if you watch the anime, there was a point where you could nominate one of your cards and use it as oh hell, I've forgotten what it was called, but basically it was like an overseer of your deck, and you got like a special ability that you could use during the game. With the thing, I cannot for the life of me remember what they were called. I'll try and find it, and I'll mention it or put it in the underneath. If any of you guys know, put it in the comments, and yeah, that means I look less of a moron. But yeah, no. Going back to my story, James had a machine deck, and there was this one machine card. Again, I've forgotten the name. It happened so long ago. This is college, so it's like, my god, that's like 12 years ago. I feel so old. But yeah, it was he had this specific machine card. It only had about 900 attack points, 600 or 900, something like that. and he was like, okay, well, I place this card, and its effect was it could attack my life points directly and ignore the monsters I had, which 600 life points in a game where you have 8,000 life points isn't that much of a big deal, especially when you can, like, okay, take 600 or 900 off me, comes back to my turn, I defeat his monster. So it wasn't too bad, but then he pulled out he turned over a couple of his spell cards he already had, which was one which boosted the monster's attack by, I think at this point I only had about 2,000 life points left, maybe. So again, 900 would have been a big blow, but not detrimental. But he pulled out some machine card that upped his power by, like, it added like 300, 400 points or something for every machine card he had in the graveyard, at which point, by this point, there was a lot. So he earned some other thing, and an overture, and the thing was so it added like oh no, that was it. It was a machine card that spell card that upped his attack power by 300 for every machine monster he had on the field, which he had about 3 or 4, I believe. If he watches this, he'll probably correct me, but I doubt he watches it. I've lost touch with him, unfortunately. I need to find him on Facebook or something. But he had this card that upped his attack points by 300 for either monsters on the field or the graveyard. I think it was the graveyard. It was one or the other, but I distinctly remember him only having the one monster. So yeah, so it must have been the graveyard. So which upped its attack power to like maybe 2,000 or something, and then he played a magic card called Overclocking, something like that, where for a machine card, its attack points are doubled for that turn, but it'll only work. But then after the turn, the monster is destroyed. And he was like, okay, so I play this, and I do this, and this, and this, and there was like 5 or 6 steps to what he did. And so his monster had like 4,500 attack points, and he's like, and I'm going to attack your life points directly and win the duel. The entire time he's going, well, I'm going to do this, I'll play this and do this and that. I'm sat there just going, I'm just sat there smiling at him. And then like all of our friends are watching, and just watching, they're like watching what he's doing. He's like, okay, I'm playing this, and I'll do this, 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 and this, and this, and I'm going to attack your life points directly, which means I win the duel. And he gives me this smug look. I just look at him, everyone looks at me like, you're screwed. I look at him, and then flip over Enchanted Javelin, and just go, you've activated this, and he goes, no! Everyone just pisses themselves laughing. So I think I won the duel because of that move. He just he's like, I'm going to defeat you with this, and I'm like, actually, you've just given me 4,500 life points. Cheers, mate. And he's like, no. Reading it since then, reading it now, I think we may have miscalculated, because this it increases. I think we had because it's not really clear on the card. It just says, when your opponent's monster attacks, increase your life points by the attacking monster's attack points. So at the time we weren't. This was before there was another card, which again I've got in my deck, and I put it in since. Where are you? Aha, there we go. Draining Shield. Now this one kind of works the same way, but it what it does, it actually specifies that it negates the monster's attack and adds it to your life points. Whereas Enchanted Javelin just says it adds the attack to the life points. So before any of us had the Draining Shield card, what we did was we weren't sure if that meant it negated the attack as well, so technically it would just be your life points stay the same if they've attacked your life points directly, or if it would mean if it attacked your life points directly, it would add the life points and then remove them, so you'd end up being exactly the same. But at the time we were playing it, so if you flip this over and someone was attacking your life points directly, instead of taking it off your life points, it just add it. So yeah, that was hilarious. He was like, "No, you've beaten my strategy, my only strategy," and then I ended up winning the duel because of it. It was fucking great. But yeah, we had so much fun playing this game. I mean, let's see. I'll have a look through my deck and see if there's any more cards. But yeah, we used to play this all the time. I remember I didn't get that far with making the rules for the special effects for the thing, because there was only limited things on the anime that it showed what they did. So if it was on the anime, I just copied what the anime did as an effect. But if it wasn't, then I basically had to make it up. So I was trying to, like, it took a lot of play testing and trying to figure out like what was what would be fair in game. I didn't want to make things overpowered. Oh, I have I've just found in my things. I have a Red Eyes Black Dragon. This is not the one from the Joey deck though, because the Joey deck ones is a shiny and looks exactly the same as the one on the anime. So I think my brother's still got that in his deck. But yeah, I had quite a few like cards. I remember at one point having a problem with having too many cards in my deck. So like my deck was like currently I've narrowed it down a bit, so it's this thick, and it used to be about there when I first started, but because I was like, oh yeah, I can use this for this strategy and this for this strategy and this for this strategy, and then someone pointed, like we were dueling, I was like, I can never get anything useful. And it was like, well yeah, because you have like 200 cards in your deck, because unlike Pokemon, to use an example, I've never played Magic the Gathering, so I can't really tell you like card limits for that or anything like that. But with Pokemon, one thing I remember is you've got to have 60 cards, no more, no less. With Yu-Gi-Oh, it was so long as the minimum you could have was 40. You could have as many cards as you wanted, but the minimum was 40. I think in tournaments they probably said there was an upper limit. And I was looking at the rules recently, and well, earlier today for any extra stuff, and there's rules for, like, it said about having extra decks and side decks and stuff, and I don't remember half of that. When we played, it was basically, there's your deck, graveyard this, and then technically I guess there was a fusion deck as well, because they were kept separate. You just kept them on the side of the field, and then when you fuse two monsters together you just pull out the card and bam, there you go. Now ritual summon monsters were always fun. Let's see, for example, Paladin of White Dragon. This was one of my brother's cards. I stole it off him, basically because he oh no, it says it was a part of the Kyber Evolution deck, so I guess it was mine. I just don't remember. I'm thinking of Buster Blader. Buster Blader was his. Yeah. Was it Buster Blader? Something like that. It was the ritual card that comes in the Yugi Evolution deck. I'll find out and I'll add that underneath as well. But yeah, they were fun, especially Relinquished. I know where that came from. That came from the Pegasus deck. That was a fun card just because you could absorb people's monsters and just start attacking them with them. And then if they attacked you with a monster that was more powerful, it destroyed their card rather than Relinquished, and they took the damage. And then it got to your turn and you just absorbed their next monster. It was funny. But yeah, let's see. Oh, I remember this was a killer combination as well. Because you have these things called infinite cards. They have a little, let me just leave that open where I had it. So yeah, you had like infinite cards. If you look on the top of this one here, there's a little infinite symbol. You probably can't see that because of the focus, but yeah, what it means is, excuse me, British, got to fuel up with my tea. Anyway, yeah, what it means is that obviously the card stays on the field. So yeah, I remember always playing Dark Room of Nightmare, because whenever it basically says whenever you inflict damage other than battle damage to your opponent's life points, so like say you play, I don't know, just Desserts. That was a card that trap card that for every monster they had on the field, you inflict 500 points of damage to the life points. This means you would inflict 300 extra. So that was fun, but that wasn't like, that was just like an occasional annoyance, really. But this combination I always used: Skull Invitation and Bad Reaction to Samochi. Bad Reaction to Samochi: as long as this card remains face up on the field, the effect of increasing your opponent's life points is negated and changed to inflicting the same amount of points in direct damage. So that meant when no one could, my opponent couldn't heal their life points. And then Skull Invitation was every time a card is sent to the graveyard, inflict 300 points of damage to its owner per card. And I've just remembered there was one other thing that went in that combination. When I find it, I'm sure I have it in the back of here somewhere. It is in this deck somewhere. Talk amongst yourselves. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it was when I could play these, it was a killer fucking thing. Where are you? That's a Flute of Summoning Dragon. Aha! There it is. Gravekeeper's Servant. So, basically, had these three in play, it means it takes up a load of room. So, you could only play one trap card and one magic card at a time, because you can only have 5 on the field, which does end up getting annoying. It does limit what you can do as a player, but it is so fun to watch how annoyed your opponent gets with all these 3 on the table, because it means Bad Reaction to Samochi means they can't heal up. Then you play Gravekeeper's Servant, which means every time they attack with a monster, they have to send a card from the top of their deck to the graveyard. And then, whenever a card is sent to the graveyard, it inflicts 300 points of direct damage to its owner's life points per card. And then, if you... I suppose if you add a Dark Room of Nightmare as well, it means you can only use one magic or trap card at all ever, because you've got 4 infinite cards on the field. But if you add that, that means every time they attack, they inflict 600 life point damage to themselves. And then they can't heal up because they'll just lose even more. So then basically you're just playing monsters. Just going, oh, I'll just wait it out. It was hilarious. People used to hate me for that. And then there's another card that used to annoy the shit out of people. Gravity Bind. Problem is it affects yourself as well, so it can be useful, but only if you find ways around, like the attacking or inflicting damage and shit. So yeah, basically Gravity Bind all monsters level 4 or higher, which if you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh before is the star count at the top there. That tells you what level a monster is. So it's like Blue Eyes White Dragon 2, 4, 6 is a level 8 monster because it has 8 stars on the top. That also told you how many tributes you needed to summon them. So like for level 4 or under monster you could just play straight on the field. So say, see, where have you gone? Lord of Dragons, there you go, Lord of D. He's a level 4 monster, so he can be played straight on the field. Where did you go? I'm looking for my Guardian Bow again. I think he was a level 4 monster. There you go, level 4. Yeah. I'm trying to find most of the stuff that was level 3 and under were all like effects monsters, so they didn't have much in the way of attack and defense points, but they did really cool stuff whenever they got flipped over. So Kaiser Seahorse, that's a 4 monster that acts as 2 tribute monsters rather than 1 when you tribute summon things. Let's have a look. Troop Dragon, again low attack and defense, 700 attack, 800 defense, but when it's destroyed it gets sent to the graveyard, but then you can summon another Troop Dragon in its place. Let's see, Red Eyes Black Chick, that's another one that I just found in the spares box, which I never had, so that's going to come in handy. I won't reveal its effect on here, but just in case any of my opponents, any of my future opponents watch this, they already know some of my schemes already. Man-Eater Bug, everyone knows that. That's from the anime. That is that's fun. When you flip it, it destroys a monster on the field regardless of position. So let's have a look. There's Kizutai again, level 2 monster, but effect. It's this one's fun as well. It's when your opponent's monster attacks this card in face down defense position, the attacking monster is equipped with a card and the damage is cancelled, so it doesn't do any damage to you. This card, during each of your opponent's standby phases, you get your life points increased by half the attack of the monster. So if you, like, say I was attacking someone with my Blue Eyes and it got attached to the Blue Eyes, I'm increasing the opponent's life points by 1,500. So I remember playing someone who used that, and they were like, "Okay, now my life points are going to go up by 1,500 every time, every turn." I of course activated this. Bad reaction to Samochi, at which point they were like, "Oh fuck, I've screwed myself." I was a bastard with these sometimes. I'll be honest, I think I lost more than I won, purely because I wasn't a master of strategy, but I think I'm getting better. So, but yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is a fun game, and if any of you know me or ever meet me and want to challenge me to a duel, feel free. I'm going to start carrying these around with me, and then I can just challenge people to duels if they find me. That's one thing. I've already had a challenge by a person, a YouTuber called Adventurer Al. Well, kind of the person who's behind that account. So I will totally play them. That would be a nice crossover. Anyone else who wants to have a duel, I might film one of me and my brother's duels, because that would be fun. Just to go on here, maybe as one of the flashback sections as a special or something. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this flashback special thing. Like I said, I'm going to have to do one about my Dungeons and Dragons stories that I was talking about when I had the little figure. I'm going to have to do one about that, telling you about the adventures I had in college with that, because that was hilarious, and also shows, one of the things shows we didn't take that game seriously, and there was one thing where the DM basically had to fucking Deus Ex Machina our way into going somewhere. He had to railroad us. And when I say railroad, I mean completely fucking railroad it. But I'll leave that for another one. If you've got any ideas, like questions that you can ask that might bring back memories, then feel free to ask those in the comments, or email us 50footnerds@gmail.com. Like I said, I'm going to try and get Mike and Paul involved in this. They can record their own episodes. They can we'll all get together and do it, because that would be fun. I want to talk about shit that us three have done or experienced. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this this flashback, and I will make at least one more about the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. It might become a regular feature, it might not, but either way, I hope you enjoyed it, and see ya. Oh, by the way, if you noticed the background, this is me testing out the green screen, because I've moved, the furniture has moved around in my house, so yeah, that means I can do this now. So I don't think this will be a regular thing for the flashbacks, but maybe for Mad Eye movies, apart from the first 2 episodes, because I mean, one's already released and the second one I've already filmed. I might not, there's no point refilming it, the takes are good enough. So yeah, this cool fucking background, if it works, I might just be pointing at a fucking green screen. Might become a regular thing too. So yeah, see ya.